Okay, testing, testing, testing. Here we go. We're going to continue with this series of this 1001 script, staying very focused on 128. And I'm going to go through A, B, C, D parts until I can start to put this into Python. And here's the first example. I think everybody should walk through it if you haven't dealt in Rhino Script and in Python scripts. Basically, I have here, going to my tools, a simple script. I will leave Python because I do want to show you that I have a little Python hovering one there that I've managed to put it in. But what you'll start with is your tools and your Python editor dealing with Rhino Script, and that should jump up here. Not sure where it's made off to. Maybe I just have to get rid of this for a second. There it is. So this script is very simple. It's importing Rhino syntax as RS. You import your maths. You draw a sine wave using points. They've set up a double A, a double B, and a double step. And that will feed into the function of fRange, which I never used before. It only uses ranges, but it demands that the double B and the step, so start, step, stop, or whatever they call it. And then Y is going to amplify that as it comes across in the plus and minus of -8 all the way through to 8. It's going to jazz it up by multiplying the maths by sine x. So you're going to get the sine wave. And then you're going to write Rhino Script, add point, x, y, and there you go. And it's nice. You don't have to do it in a, I don't see, the list is tucked in there. You can see the list is actually in there. So let's get rid of that and run the script, and here it goes. In real time, I should be able to see it. There it goes. And that was kind of quick, so that wasn't very exciting. Let me take it again. It bakes them as it goes, which is actually very cool. But let's hit it again and give it a second. Maybe I have to leave it. Let me run it again. There it goes. So it's running pretty fast, and it's kind of nice. That said, there it was. Now, what can I do with that? We could leave it. We could hide it. We could do whatever. I think what I'll do is I'll just grab the visibility off. And so, definitely we're going to be doing easy Rhino scripts, getting through Python for Rhinoceros 5 primer. But while that happens, this is not written into the primer. How do you get that over into Python? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that out, get it out of my face, and go over to my Rhino script, my Grasshopper script, bring it in here and say, listen, I was playing with the last one. And if you remember my last video, it was built on, oh my gosh, what was it? It was, lines that progressively scale themselves smaller to a certain length. And I cut and pasted it in here, and I was like, no, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to take that and work with my types and my lists and get what I need. It's become a little too nested for me. I'm a beginner. There's no way I'm going to run that function in with this weird kind of iron Python stuff at the bottom. So let's not go there yet. I'm okay not going there yet. But I should be able to write the Python script in here. That shouldn't be hard. And there it is. As soon as I click on that node, I cut and pasted this in. I don't think I did anything. All I did was say, let's set the Rhino script add point list xy0. Let's give it a cool name. So I gave it the name cool. And then I said, listen, I'll also set the sine curve points up as an array or a list that can collect data. And I'm going to append that. The same way I watched an earlier demo, I can append that with cool every time it goes through this for loop. And as it does, I said, let's send all that sine curve points updated from my cool append and put A to the output. That's it. And that makes sense to me. I'm at least that, I got that into my head, which isn't much for being, 48 years old. But believe me, I didn't do coding for 30 years. So I'm very happy. Now I'm able to read textbook exercises on Rhino Script and start to understand and figure this out without any tutorial and examples. How would I bring that in? And in doing so, all right, I brought that script in. I tested it. It's there. It's sitting there as a single, but that's not what Grasshopper's for. Grasshopper isn't for grabbing a list unless I was going to do more with it in my node. And I'm actually I think I'm pretty proficient at Grasshopper right now, intermediate at least, and going advanced on some data tree stuff. But needless to say, there it was. We've got our original baked form in here, and I'm just going to hide that. But I want to be able to do things to that. So I'm like, well, I could take that data and I could start doing things to that, manipulating before and after. There's nothing really coming in, empty parameters in X and Y, but they've been used in my scripts. So I thought, well, let's just leave them there and let's open this one up. And let's add a Z, because when I looked at this script here, I start, as soon as I look at a script and I see anything that's a digit, an integer or a float, I'm like, I could make that variable. I could set a parameter into that. That's the easiest thing to think of number sliders as parameters, and that's exactly what I did. I went down here, opened it up, and the only modification was to type in z times math sine x and assign z to one of the inputs, and then make sure I make that type hint a float. And that's it. And now I have the same curve that I had before in the other function, but, and I don't think we have to dwell on here looking at that because it's pretty simple to figure out the shift. I got a slider on it. That's it. Just made a slider on my node. Now this is primary. This is introductory. But for what I'm doing and how happy I am, I'm starting to get back into what I promised, the 1001 Python script, the Grasshopper scripts. I didn't promise Rhino Script scripts. So, but now knowing I need to go there will only improve my coding. My scripts will only get more and more elaborate. I don't think I'm a far cry from being able to pull this off into a Python node, but there is some funk in there, and I'm going to slowly step up to it. I'm going to improve my script step by step, and that's how I'm going to learn it. I would say anybody else who wants to try this, get in here and do it with me. It's in real time. It's happening in July. I'm figuring it out as we go. And, you know, it doesn't have to be a one-way transmission here. People can reach out and we can actually ask questions back and forth. And I'm actually starting a lot more dialogue with international people that I'll probably never have a chance in life to meet, but wonderful to ask the same questions. So I'm going to close that out. And even having that running, it's always nice to go back into your Rhino script, pull that one up again. I think it's tucked behind here. Nope, I had it here. So even though that one was running in Grasshopper, and I can put it so we can see both scripts, I think if I do that, no, that'll take it off. If I do that, I think we see both. We see this one and, sorry, I'm just rambling away here. I had the other one on preview off, so let's turn that one on. Let's take it. So there's the two, and then let's go back into our tools and go back into our Python script and Rhino script and run that one. And we should have it. Where are you? It might be there. Let's take it off. Oh, I ran the wrong. I ran the script that I had before. Let's run this one. I'm locked into the other command, so let me go back into there. I opened the wrong one. Let's go into edit this one, and let's run that one. And I should be able to see my points. I'm not sure why I don't. I noticed they were a little funky before. I'm not sure why. Maybe I just have to stop and start my script. It was running before. Maybe it was just a setup on shaded. Could be that I've overridden it. Could be that Python's open. I'm wondering why that one's not actually running. I'll hit pause and figure it out. Seen from the Rhino script as they're baked in, unless I take this and I put the preview on. It covers that up. It's just too hard to see. They're in there, but I didn't zoom in far enough to actually appreciate them. So the best thing to do would be just to turn this preview off, and you'll see your points. And they were generated from the Rhino. So we can take those off again. We can go back into Tool, Python Script Editor, hide this one away, and hit Run. And we should have some real-time stuff happening. And there we go. We got Rhino Script generating on top of Python Script. Hopefully I can catch up to the peers that inspired me so much. It's going to be a slow go, but this video is there showing my mistakes and learning curves. They're under 10 minutes. Let's keep going with it. We're at 5.4 in the 115-page handout primer. Thanks for watching.